Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to go over the tier list update for the release of Sharon and regular Khun Mascheny. I also made adjustments to a lot of other units, but we're going to look at that in a second. As usual, we're going to start with the new units first, and since we already have Sharon here on the screen, I would say we can start with her. And for Sharon, I gave her irregular arrow down for both the below 350 and above 350 deficit. The reason why the ranking didn't change with the change of deficit is because her survivability is the same regardless of deficit. She's really, really tanky, so that's good. And the value she provides is always the same. I might say the value she provides at higher deficits is lower, mainly because she's built to buff attack scaling DPS units, which perform more poorly at higher deficits. So that's the only reason why we could consider her value going down. But I still decided to give her the same ranking, not to highlight this kind of loss in value. I think she's still amazing and it doesn't really matter. Now, in terms of her actually being irregular, I'm not 100% convinced. I was leaning more towards S plus RAP, to be honest. She has a great kit, great survivability. There are a few downsides that I don't really like. Mainly the fact that she doesn't move at the start of the battle, so she does not aggro, which is annoying as hell. And the second issue that I see is that it's really difficult to link to the unit that you want because her targeting is highest attack unit. The issue with that is that most units that benefit, like the units that benefit the most out of her kit, are warriors and ranged. But warriors specifically don't have attack in the subnodes for evolution, so most of the times they don't have enough attack to be the highest attack unit. So you either run just Sharon and the warrior that you want to buff, like for example Princess of Zahard. Those are a great pair. But if you add some support units or whatever, they might have more attack even if they are on a lower link. So that's extremely annoying, I think. If she had a condition to link like Albelda, then definitely regular, not even arrow down. But with this kind of restriction, is a bit frustrating to use at times. So I was still thinking about S plus R up. The reason why I ended up giving her irregular is because in the community rankings on my Discord, everyone voted for irregular. There was not a single S plus, only irregular ranking. So well, I had to do it. But again, if it was on me, probably S plus or up would have been the ranking I would have given her. Still, that doesn't mean like this is not to say that her value is not good. I mean, she's an insane unit, really, really strong. If you have the resources to pull for her, as I already said in the first impression video, definitely go for her. But don't do it if this would mean that you have to skip the SSR Plus for anniversary, so Eura, and the EX. So in that case, don't do it. But if you have enough resources for all three of them, then I would say go for it. It's really an insane, insane unit. Especially if you have Princess of Zahard as a carry, they are insane together. Again, the issue is that you cannot really use other units, like you cannot add an Albelda, because then Sharon would link to Albelda instead of Princess of Zahard. Is a bit annoying. To be honest, it's way too annoying, but okay. So yeah, with that in mind, I would say that there is not much else to say about Sharon, just that the value she provides is always going to be great. Also, in terms of future-proof tier list, I gave her will stay useful ranking. So not the top of the top, even though I was thinking about it because I think she's really, really good. Like she provides great survivability to the linked ally, energy regen, and a lot of attack scaling buffs. Also a swiftness buff, but that can be removed, so I'm not really a fan of it. But yeah, lots of stuff, really, really good. Now, moving on to the next unit, which is regular Mascheny. We'll have to go a bit down because I gave her A+. For both the below 350 and above 350. I would say she's the worst of the XSR Plus unit that we got, but not necessarily in terms of performance, but just compared to the base version. Because everyone else more or less was on the same level. I would say the XSR Plus maybe was a tiny bit better in the other, like for the other 3 units. But in Khun Masheny's case, definitely not. I mean, they removed a lot of her damage, and I mean a lot of it, like all of it. She basically deals no damage at all. And now all she does is have an AoE 100 swiftness decrease. That's it. I don't really like that. I mean, I used it a bit. I got her yesterday to Rainbow 5. I used her a bit. It was okay. I mean, it was not the worst of like debuffs that she could have. Obviously, you could feel the impact, but like zero damage. And her survivability is garbage. Even worse than the other one because now SSR plus Lightning Spear Khun Mascheny was buffed. So also survivability improved a bit. Now she has a projectile block on the barrier, and SSR plus Khun Mascheny doesn't. So she's gonna die super quickly. When she's alive, she deals no damage. And the utility is nice. I mean, 100 swiftness is not nothing. Like it's definitely valuable, but I don't know, not enough, not enough. So I think this kind of range A plus is more than fair for her. That's kind of how I feel about it. I didn't even bother to decrease her ranking with increase of deficit because she's gonna explode before 350. She's gonna explode after. She's gonna deal no damage in either case. She's just gonna provide the 100 swiftness. So the value is basically staying the same. So yeah, not really happy about this unit. Let me know in the comments if you found any good use case for her, but I don't know, really not happy. I was expecting her to be disappointing once we saw the revolution that she got, but actually using her, I was like, okay, yeah, this is not it. This is not it, definitely. So super easy skip. Only get her if you want the costume for SSR Plus Mascheny. That's literally the only reason. Now, talking about Lightning Spear Khun Mascheny, she got a buff in this update. She got now max HP damage once she reaches the maximum amount of stacks on the Revolution 4, which is six stacks, and that only increases when she uses the active skill, Trident. It's a bit annoying to get to the maximum stacks, but when she does, her damage is insane, obviously. Her survivability is still garbage. You have to invest too many resources to keep her alive, and you need to keep her alive for a very, very long time. Again, I'm not really a big fan of this unit. She's definitely better than before. I did increase her ranking in the above 350. Before she was S plus arrow down. Now she is S plus arrow up. So that's okay. But yeah, you see, like I couldn't really give her irregular. I was thinking about it, but if she had better survivability or if she had a quicker way to stack her like stacks, then maybe. But yeah, not really fun. You can use her, definitely. That's why she's still S plus or up. But like so annoying to use that I couldn't really give her irregular, to be honest. So that's why she's still in this range, but definitely got an improvement. So that's that. Okay, and other than Lightning Spear Khun Mascheny, I moved another unit up. We have here Princess of Zahard. Before she was S plus or up, now she is irregular arrow down for both the below 350 and above 350. Obviously, as an attack scaling unit, her value will decrease as you increase in deficit, but not so quickly that it matters. So you can still play her for a very, very long time. She's still going to be insane. She's one of the few units that can kill Elite Spy Shia Shia, this one, as an enemy. So that's insane value. And yeah, she didn't really belong in S plus. I wanted to move her up, and that's what I did. So yeah, no big surprises here. I think a lot of people agreed with this ranking. So yeah, that's it. What else did I change? Because I really made a lot of changes. I took notes because otherwise I would have forgotten. Another unit I changed is white. In the below 350, I removed is arrow up. Before it was S plus or up, now it's just S plus. Mainly because yes, it's still great below 350 deficit, but I mean, compared to the other DPS units that we got recently, is not up to par, so I wanted to decrease his ranking a little bit. I think I also decreased the one above 350 from S arrow up to S. To be honest, I could move it even lower, probably A plus or something, just because it's really is really weak when you get to higher deficits. So I don't know, not really worth your time. If you're a new player, definitely a great pick because you're kind of forced to with the guide missions, and in general, at lower deficit, it performs really, really well. So it's an okay pick to have, but not really going to be useful later on in the game, I would say. So that's that as well for white. Other changes I made were to like Ejin, I believe. Yes, it was S plus before in the below 350 deficit. Now I moved him down to S arrow up. The main reason for this is that, well, as a DPS unit, it didn't really compare to the other ones. As a utility unit with the energy decrease and the HP recovery block is good, and I think that for that, he deserves S arrow up. That's it. I didn't want to give him higher than that because those debuffs are removable, and also they are mostly single targets, so it's not that great. I mean, it is useful, but nothing insane, nothing deserving S plus at this point. I also wanted to do some cleanup to move down some units from S plus that didn't deserve it anymore, and also from S down to A plus or even A. So we will see a lot of that. But yeah, Ejin is one of the first ones that I demoted from S plus. I think it's definitely not belonging in there anymore. It can still do well, it can still be used, but there are better alternatives now. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about him. Let me see another unit. I was also Child and Dorsey. She was S rank before. Definitely great utility with the energy recovery block. But yeah, still not really that frequently used anymore. A bit annoying to keep alive. So all things considered, I decided to move her down to A plus for both the below 350 and above 350 deficits. So in both cases, she was S rank. Now she's A plus. As simple as that. It's just a matter of being annoying to use, not really frequently used. Even though the debuff is great, but I think more than A plus would have been probably too much, especially now that we have also Myeonggul that could compensate for that kind of effect. So yeah, that's why I decided to move her down a little bit. We also had the other Endorsey, this one, Shinsu of the Heart, that was S as well. It was S arrow down in the below 350 and move her to A plus arrow down in the below 350. She can still survive well at this deficit, but the utility she provides is really nowhere close the other options that we have. So didn't belong in S tier anymore from my point of view. I also lowered her like above 350 ranking from A plus arrow down to A. Just because again, at that deficit she just explodes. The value she can provide is very, very limited. So that's why she was decreased like that. We also have regular Dororo. It was also S rank. And to be honest, with the kit he has, he kind of deserves that. But I still decided to move him down because he's not frequently used. There are not a lot of units that can really benefit from his kit. And his durability is just dog shit. So yeah, I moved him down from S to A plus, and then I moved him down in the above 350 deficit from A plus to A. Just for those reasons. He's a bit too squishy, not that used anymore, and most of the good units don't really benefit from his kit. So kind of a wasted pick nowadays, and that's it. Other units that I moved down were also Blanc. Where is she? From S arrow down to A plus arrow down. Again, healing is not really that great anymore. The attack buff she provides is whatever, a bit low for nowadays standards. And also status effect immunity, yeah, nice, but you cannot control who gets it because it's on the special move and it targets the lowest HP ally or something. So all things considered, not really a great kit nowadays, and she definitely didn't deserve the S rank anymore, so I moved her down. And for the above 350, well, it's even worse because healers are just kind of irrelevant at that point. You just get one-shotted. So her value is even lower, and I moved her from, I think she was, A plus, and now she is A plus, A arrow down, sorry. So yeah, that's it for Blanc as well. Then a few more changes. We had some units in A plus that were Shia and Yellowy. They were both A plus, and I moved her down to A for both below 350 and above 350 deficits. The reason is that Shia has very little to her kit, just healing, a bit of energy, and a barrier, not enough, and also an attack buff, but definitely not enough. Yellowy has a crit rate buff, crit damage buff, and also attack speed buff. Not bad, but it can be removed. Kind of annoying. Not many DPS units will benefit from it nowadays, so kind of wasted and definitely didn't deserve an higher ranking, so I moved her down as well. We also have Lozel. I moved her from A plus to A for both below 350 and above 350. Again, very simple. Her kit was not really that great anymore. She has debuff removal, she has attack buff for green allies, she has healing, and that's it. She moves a bit too forward, like when the fight starts, so she's not completely ranged, and her survivability was very, very bad. In general, not a great unit. You can use her maybe in some bossing scenarios if you don't have Shane or something else and you're using Princess. But other than that, not really a unit you want to deploy anyway. So yeah, there's that for Lozel. Let me check what else I moved. I think also Romay, I moved her. Where is she? Yeah, she was A arrow down for both deficits, so below 350 and above 350. I moved her down to B just because really what she provides is kind of irrelevant. A barrier, effect resistance, an attack buff on Revolution that is kind of random. Not really great. So yeah, Romay belongs in the B tier, maybe lower, but for now, let's leave her there. And yeah, I would say for the units that I changed, that should be pretty much it. Let me double check if I missed somebody. Yeah, I missed. Let's go in this other tier list here, in the above 350. I missed Khun Asensio. Before it was A+, I gave him A+ arrow up for the above 350. The reason why I gave him an increase in ranking is because he's basically unkillable with a buff he received a few months ago. And that is not too relevant below 350 because you can make a lot of units unkillable with resistances and the right teammates. But above 350, there are not many units that can survive for the whole fight, so his stall tanking potential gains some value. So yeah, definitely, I think I wanted to highlight this increase in value with increase of deficit. So if you're pushing very, very insane deficits and nothing else is working, it should be able to survive. So it's still an option. And yeah, I wanted to highlight that as well. I would say there is nothing else, guys, to this Tierlist update. Let me know if you think I should be moving somebody else. I will definitely move more units in the next Tierlist updates. Also, when we see maybe, hopefully, more ignition weapon buffs in the near future, I will definitely make some more, like some additional movements and adjustments. Especially because I think S plus and S are getting too crowded, so we definitely need to move something down. And yeah, I think this is a good start. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.